Good evening, everyone. This is Ravendale here for another video. I've decided to, before I get into the more newer stuff I want to do and get into like my, fully get into my horror costume updates and all that, which it's been slow. I mean, it takes time, and plus, you know, but I have decided to go back and remake some of my videos that I can with the unboxings. That's why they're called unboxings. you have only one chance of doing it right. I don't fake it with you guys. I don't open up the box, take out the item, and then put it back the way it was. I'm not like that. I've seen people do that, and that's faking it. I don't fake things. So the first video that I've been thinking about remaking ever since I actually listened to it was my old Judas Priest, the complete album collection review that I did back in 2012, I think. But since I feel like I've gotten better at this, I think I can give you guys a little bit better review. Alright, let's get started with this. This is the Judas Priest, the complete album collection. I got this. I actually got it like around the time that I got released. What attracted me to this set, what made me want it very badly, was the first time that we got the first two Judas Priest albums on CD. I mean, officially by Judas Priest. All the other remastered versions before this set were done by their old record company to get some money from Priest's popularity, which they've even said not to buy any of their albums, which people have because they're Judas Priest friends. They want to complete everything. But this is why I'm glad I got into music around the CD times. So I'm able to own all of them officially. Obviously, by what most of you know, this is not truly the complete version. This is not the complete album collection. Because back in 2012, this is when they were wanting to they were wanting to go out on tour. This was released around the time of their final tour. So-called final tour, until they went back and said, no, it's not our final tour. We're just not going to be doing big world tours, and we're just going to focus on recording all that. And then they just finally took that away completely. So around this time, this was probably released to coincide of that tour, even though that the tour started back in 2011, I believe. This is not the complete album collection. I like to call it the classic albums collection, because the Rob Halford fronted version of the band is the more popular version of the two, because Rob was there mostly for almost all of their career. As you may know, after the Painkiller tour, Rob left to do his own thing, which was Fight. I think what really affected him was that whole court thing, to where these two kids, well, there might be one, I think it was two, like, they were listening to Better By You, Better Than Me, which is a Spooky Tooth cover that Priest did on the Stained Class album, and they killed themselves over it. And if you see those videos of them tour, they don't look. They look like, no offense, guys, but they looked like crap. I mean, when like you get called into court and was told like, yeah, these two kids got killed by your song, or 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 a song that you did on one of your albums. So during that time, the PMRC was still a large thing. So, which, anyways, let's get on to the albums that this set contains. It contains Rockarola and Sad Wings of Destiny, the first time on CD. Sin After Sin, Stained Glass Class, Killing Machine, or known as Hellbent for Leather in the US, which I prefer the UK name. Unleashed in the East, one of my favorite live albums of all time. British Steel, Point of Entry, the classic Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, Turbo, Priest Alive, Ram It Down, Painkiller. That's probably my favorite Priest album. Angel of Retribution, Nostradamus, and A Touch of Evil Live. Alright, let's get on to the box that it contains in. It actually looks like metal. It looks like steel. The classic Priest logo that they used for the New Age of Priest. Think they started using this? No, they started using this back. They used this logo for when Rob came back in the band, and it has the complete albums collection, and it has the Trident, which is the Priest's logo. That was first seen on the Sad Wings of Destiny Angel. The back just tells you what it comes with. And to open up is pretty simple. You just look this up and there we go. It comes with a nice little booklet. It tells you all the songs. And starting from, let me check. Starting from Defenders of the Faith, it actually tells you which guitar player plays what in the songs, solo wise. So for instance, they'll say like Glenn plays the first solo, then KK does like the fills or whatever, and it even has some pictures. And one of my personal favorite of theirs, let me find it real quick. It's probably this one right here, because it shows them looking all badass. I really do like the 70s Priest albums. And of course, another one of my favorite shots is Priest at the US Festival. So, really nice booklet. Unfortunately, again, it doesn't mention the Ripper Owens era, which I think they should have included him. They should have included his stuff that he did for Priest with this set, but I can understand why they didn't. So, which it's funny that with British Steel they didn't include the DVD from the 20th anniversary edition, or no wait, it was the 30th anniversary edition. And I finally feel like as soon as I got this set, it's like, oh wait, they're gonna re-release us Screaming for Vengeance, and I'm going like, I know how the Led Zeppelin fans feel now. And so here's Rockarola. You know, I can never get used to seeing Rob Halford with long hair. What I really like about this is that it's like mini vinyls. So that's another thing too. And like when you get to the double CDs with 2. It's actually a double vinyl. These are a pain in the ass to get the CDs out. A few of them scratch. What I do is I just take it, I do that, I push the sides open, then I just slip it in, and then it's easy access. The songs on Rock'n'Rolla, well, the band members during this time is Kiki Downing, Glenn Tipton, Rob Halford, John Hinch, and Ian Hill. This album was mostly written by Rob's the first pre-singer, which was Al Atkins, and the songs was one for the road, Rock'n'Rolla, and then this medley that contains Winter, Deep Freeze, Winter Retreat, Cheater, which is a full 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Never Satisfied, which Priest started playing again for their Epitaph tour or something like that. Run of the Mill, Dying to Meet You, and Carvel and Meths. This album is good, I gotta admit. I mean, it doesn't stand toe to toe with like British Steel or whatever. There's some moments with like the Priests we know love, but this is more like, I call this album the only time you hear Priest play blues and psychedelic rock. So now, Sad Wings of Destiny, which if you look closely on the angel, you can see the cross, the trident on it. The band members here is just the original 4. Then the drummer is Alan Moore. Again, it's in a mini vinyl. This is also, no wait, that's a different album. Okay, never mind. I'll save that for. It is a Prelude, Tyrant, Genocide, Epitaph, Island of Domination, Victim of Changes, which is in my top 10 favorite Priest songs of all time, Ripper, which is also in my top 10 favorite Priest songs of all time, Dream, Deceiver, and Deceiver. And as it turns out, they are the only band that has kept their management throughout their whole career. Kind of funny if you think about it, which it was Bill Corbisley and Jane Andrews. Kind of funny. So, gonna get these, so I'm gonna stack them up like I did when I was listening to them. I always put them upside down, so it'll be easy. The first album that they did with Columbia. This also has a second. Roger Glover producing. And where does that name sound familiar? Oh yeah, he was in Deep Purple. So again, there's that link between Judas Priest, Deep Purple, and Black Sabbath again. So this song, I really do love this album cover. It's gothic looking, and this is actually the last time that we saw the Gothic Priest logo. And the main reason why Rock'n'Rolla and Sad Wings of Destiny was ever released, when they left to go with Columbia, they had no choice but to give up their rights to the master tapes, the demos, etc. They could still play songs live, but that's the only time people heard them. A lot of people never even heard Rock'n'Rolla. Sad Wings of Destiny is actually the more well-known one. So the only way you would know about Rock'n'Rolla was if you started out at the very beginning of Priest during like 75. So the songs are Sinner, Diamond, or Rust, which they did a take for the Sad Wings of Destiny albums. The only reason why I would buy those other versions of Sad Wings of Destiny is because of the Sad Wings of Destiny take on Diamonds and Rust, but I think this version is superior. Starbreaker, Last Road of Summer, Last Praise, as Call for the Priest, Raw Deal, Here Comes the Tears, and Distant Aggressor and bonus tracks. Race with the Devil and Jawbreaker Life. I really do love Distant Aggressor. It's not in my top 10 favorite Priest songs. It could be, I'm not sure. It's a great song on here. This song is very progressive. This is probably my least favorite record out of the 70s Priest stuff, because there's some moments that's very tame, but this is more progressive rock than anything. So it's a good album though. The first time we see the classic Priest logo that they used until Angel Ashery. This version of the logo is actually used until Screaming for Vengeance. Alright, this I've always loved Judas Priest's album covers. They look so badass. This album is actually the start that you can hear. This is the first album with Les Binks, which is my favorite Priest drummer as well. There's some good moments on here. I think it's one of the songs on here, or it might be the next one. There's this one song that you can hear him doing the double bass. So, all right. The album is Exciter, White Heat, Red Hot, Better by You, Better Than Me, Stained Class, Invader, Saints in Hell, Savage, Beyond the Realms of Death, Heroes End, bonus tracks, Fire Burns Below, and Better by You, Better Than Me live. This album became very infamous because of that whole trial with Better by You, Better Than Me during the 90s with Priest. Right before Painkiller got released. Actually, Painkiller was actually done. They couldn't really. They wanted to wait until the trials. I mean, they look exhausted in that video when you watch it. You feel sorry for Priest too, because it's like America accepted them, and now it's like they're trying to, But then again, that's a common thing back during the 80s and the early 90s with metal and hard rock, is that certain bands got targeted for their themes. So, no, not to mention a lot of suicides. But I don't blame the bands. I have to blame the people that done it. I'm sorry. If you're stupid enough to listen to a song by Ozzy Osbourne called Suicide Solution, which is about Bon Scott and about drinking yourself to death, then hey, you must have been not right in the head. And plus, if you did drugs that really, Killing Machine, Judas Priest. This is the first album that we see him go more of a mainstream route, which I'm okay with. Again, same lineup from Stained Glass, Les Binks. This is the last studio album that had him on here. The songs contain Delivering the Goods, Rock Forever, Evening Star, Hellbent for Leather, Take on the World, Burning Up, The Green Manalishi with the Two-Pronged Crown, Killing Machine, Running Wild, Before the Dawn, Evil Fantasy, bonus tracks, Fight for Your Lives, Riding on the Wind live. Now, this album's good. Again, out of the 70 Priest stuff, my favorite overall is the first live album that they did. Well, this album's pretty damn good. I really do like it. It has some good stuff on it. And I gotta be honest, I hate it when I see a guitar player didn't restring their guitar right, so there's like a piece of string sticking out. That bugs the hell out of me, because it's like, ugh. Judas Priest Unleashed in the East. Hell of a live album. Also known as Unleashed in the studio, because a lot of people thought that this was overdubbed in the studio. The instruments stuff wasn't, but Rob's vocal was recorded in the studio. And you see the classic Priest uniform, the leather, and Rob Halford's motorcycle, and badass. The songs contain Exciter, Running Wild, Sinner, The Ripper, The Green, Monalishi, Diamonds of Rust, Victim of Changes, Genocide, Tyrant, bonus tracks, Rock Forever, Delivering the Good, Hellbent for Leather Starbreaker. Good live album, I recommend it. Big time. If you want to get a little bit of if you want to introduce someone to Priest, I recommend this album. Time for another classic Priest album, British Steel. I've owned the 30th anniversary one. I need to rebuy it for the DVD reasons. This is the first album with Dave Holland on drums. They asked Lee, Les or Lee or something like that, to change his drumming style to more of a basic. He said no, so goodbye. That was a wrong decision to do. I can understand why they did that, but I guess it worked out in the end. The song contains Rapid Fire, which is my favorite song on this album. Metal Gods, Breaking the Law, Grinder, You United, You Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, Living After Midnight, The Rage, and Stealer is the last song. Bonus tracks: Red, Riding Blue, Grinder Live. What's more to say about this album? It's a classic. It's a classic. Judas Priest, Point of Entry. A good album in its own right. It doesn't stand up to British Steel at all, in my opinion, but it's still good. This is actually the last time we see this font of the Judas Priest logo with like the red. Alright, it's the same lineup introducing British Steel. Comes with Heading Out to the Highway, Don't Go, Hot Rocking, Turning Circles, Desert Plains, Solar Angels, You Say Yes, All the Way, Troubleshooter, On the Run, bonus tracks, Thunder Road, and Desert Plains Live. Recommend this album. Again, it's I feel like Priest was going back to their 70s roots with this album. It's very heavy, it's very raw sounding. But again, it doesn't stand up to British Steel in my opinion. But it's still damn good. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. If you notice, they did another logo change. And on the US version of this, they did a pop-out version of the logo, much like this. But it was red, I believe. It's the same font, but it's pop out to look more 3D. Again, I love this album cover. One of my favorites, with the eagle. This is the Hellion. So again, the songs on here is the Hellion, Electric Eye, Riding on the Wind, Bloodstone, Take These Chains, Pain and Pleasure. One of my favorite songs, Screaming for Vengeance. They're very overplayed, yet at the same time very awesome. You've got Another Thing Coming, Fever, Devil's Child, bonus songs, Prisoner of Your Eyes, Desert Child Live. A classic Priest album again, fantastic. One more to say about that album, it's a classic. It's a classic album, much like British Steel is. And people and metal fans must own that album in their collection. Defenders of the Faith, which they're doing a special edition reissue this year. I'm definitely going to be picking that up. It's, like I said, it's the same lineup for since British Steel will be using till Painkiller. So the songs contain, again, I love this album cover. This is badass. Free Will Burning, Jawbreaker, Rock Hard, Ride Free, The sentinel, love bites, eat me alive. Some heads are gonna roll. Night comes down, heavy duty. Defenders of the Faith bonus tracks. Turn on your light, heavy duty sash. Defenders of the Faith. Good album. Do I feel like this album stands up against Screaming for Vengeance? I guess that's a debate. I mean, this album's good. It's very heavy, and so is Screaming for Vengeance. So I guess I think I do prefer this one a slight edge over, but it's not my. But this is not my favorite Priest album. We're getting to it. And now we come to the Linkest Link, Turbo. This is when Priest wanted to experiment with us synthesizer guitars, which to a lot of people didn't work out. Metal fans are very hard to please. They want bands to not change their sound. I listened to this. My opinion on it has changed slightly. I do think it's a okay album. It's not the greatest album. I mean, it definitely doesn't stack up against any other Priest album. It comes with Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, Rock You All Around the World Out in the Cold, Wild Nights, Hot and Crazy Days, Hot for Love, Reckless, bonus tracks, all fired up and locked in. Would I recommend this? I would only recommend this if you like the whole synthesizers, guitars, and then I'm not a big fan of them. But it's still Judas Priest. So hey, so listen to it, and again, I'll say that for the end of the video. The second live album by Priest. And I love this insert right here. The metal gods and all their glory. Now this one is definitely a bitch to get the CDs out, because what I have to do is I have to open this up, do this, and then slide it out. The songs that comes out, it's the same lineup again. The songs are Out in the Cold, Heading Out to the Highway, Metal Gods, Breaking the Law, Light Bites, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll, The Sentinel, Private Property, Rock You All Around the World, Electric Eye, Turbo Lover, Free World Burning, Parental Guidance, Living After Midnight, You've Got Another Thing Coming, bonus tracks, Screaming for Vengeance, Rock Hard Ride Free, Hellbent for Leather. This doesn't stack up to Unleashed in the East at all, in my opinion. It does have some good moments, though. It does have some good moments. There's some songs I do like listening to on like a normal basis, like Breaking the Law, Heading Out to the Midnight, You've Got Another Coming. It is good, but it is definitely not as good as Unleashed in the East, in my opinion. Ram It Down. Now, another album change. They went back. Notice another logo change right here. This is Ram It Down. It comes with, like I said, same lineup since British Steel. Comes Ram It Down, Heavy Metal, Love Zone, Come Get It, Hard as Iron, Blood Red Skies, I'm a Rocker, Johnny Be Good, Love You to Death, Monsters of Rock, bonus tracks, Night Comes Down Live, and Bloodstones Live. I love this album cover big time. It's like a fish coming down. It has that No God feel to it. Now, would I recommend this album? I would recommend this album. I would recommend all the songs except Johnny Be Good. I have to agree with people. It's not a good cover. It doesn't feel like the original. I get that in some cases you have to make the song your own, but you can't strive away from the original concept. With Guns N' Roses, when they did Knocking on Heaven's Door and Live and Let Die. They didn't strive too far away with Knocking on Heaven's Door. They added more to it. Slash played the chords that Bob Dylan did, well, the notes, but he changed it. instead of just up and down stroking, he just did alternate picking. Judas Priest, Painkiller, kick-ass album. My favorite logo, album cover art, and my favorite Priest album. This is the heaviest, fastest Priest album that you get. A lot of people were dissing a lot of the 70s bands like Black Sabbath and Judas Priest, and said like they couldn't keep up with the likes of Metallica, Pantera, and Slayer, and Anthrax, and Megadeth, and they released this album, and they just said, yeah, we can keep up with them. The songs on here are Painkiller, Hell Patrol, All Guns Blazing, Leather Rebel, Metal Meltdown, Nightcrawler, Betraying the Hammer and the Anvil, A Touch of Evil, Battleheim, One Shot at Glory, Bone Shacks, Living Bad Dreams, and Leather Rebel live. Recommend this album. It's very kick-ass. I think it definitely competes with the classic Priest albums like British Steel and Screaming for Vengeance, big time. I think it's actually better. Glenn Tipton and Kick It Downing and Rob Halford shines, and there is a lineup change. Dave Howland is not part of the band anymore. He's not drumming. They either brought Scott Travis, which is again a technical drummer, which they needed for this album if they were wanting to compete with the thrash metal and speed metal and death metal bands. So obviously they brought back the Les Binks era songs a little bit. They brought those songs back, so made a lot of people happy, I'm guessing. So after this album, Rob Halford left. Tim Ripper Owens came in he did 2 studio albums and 2 live albums with him, which was Juggulator. I forgot what the live album was. Live Meltdown or something like that. Domination or something like that. And Priest Live in London. I don't have those albums. I want to own them. This is another flaw with this set. Actually, it's probably the main flaw. Is that they don't have the Ripper Owen era stuff in here, which I understand why. But this is the album that Robert came back, and I actually like it. When I first heard it, I thought it was boring. I thought it didn't compete with the other albums. And the songs on here is Judas Rising, Deal with the Devil, which is one of my favorite Priest songs on this record. Revolution's good. We're fighting for good. Demonize is good. Wheel of Fire is good. Angel, Hellride is good. Heligy is good, and Locked is good. I forgot what songs, but they actually make references to like the other Priest songs and different like Priest albums. I forgot what Myths, and believe it or not, they said that these 2 guys are the same guys, and the Set Wing of Destiny is the same as these guys. So again, there's that continuity there, which is weird. The next album is another change. It was a idea for them. Some people say it worked. Some people say it didn't. Another logo change. Judas Priest, Nostradamus, which is concept record. Dawn of Creation, Prophecy, Awaken, Revelation, The 4 Horsemen, War, Sinner's Time, Pestilence and Plague, Death, Peace, Conquest, Lost Love, Persecution or something like that, Solitude, Exiled, Alone, Shadow in the Flame Visions, Hope, New Beginning, Calm Before the Storm, Nostradamus, Future of Mankind. It's a good album. I listened to it a second time. Again, this is not an album. Much like Turbo, you have to, it's pretty much one of those albums where you like it or you don't. I'm on the side that likes it. With Turbo, I'm in the middle of it, but I'm more leaning closer to not liking it. For probably similar reasons that people like. The last album in the set is a live album. Another live album that does not complete with the Unleashed in the East, but it does have its moments again. Judas Rising, Hell Rider, Betraying the Hammer and the Anvil, Riding on the Wind, Death, Beyond the Realms of Death, Dissonant Aggressor, A Touch of Evil, Eat Me Alive, Popsy, and Painkiller. So that's it. That's what the album contains. That's my thoughts on all the albums. I feel like I've gotten better. I'll probably do a separate review of these albums when I listen to them on my own time, when I'm not listening to them back to back. What on the car radar would I give it? I would give it a 4 out of 5 because it's a good set. If you already have most of these Priest albums, it's only worth it for the first two. For people like me that's been wanting to buy the Priest records but never could find them, it's a good way of getting most of them. I hope you all enjoy this. If you guys want, name your top 5 favorite Priest albums, and also to name your favorite drummer from Priest. My favorite is definitely Les Binks, tied with Scott Travis and Dave Holland's number 2. Anyways, this is Ravendale here, and I'll see you all later. And my next video will probably be, I've been wanting to redo my Naruto chapter 699 and 700, but this time I'm going to do things differently. I've been thinking about doing it to where I actually read it live, and then I tell you all my opinions. My opinion about it has changed greatly, but there's some things that still irks me about it. But anyways, this is Ravendale here. Good night. Peace out. And we'll end. By the way, Judas Priest is probably in my top 10 favorite Priest albums. Anyways, I don't want to make this 40 minutes. This has been a long video. I hope no one bitches about me. I've always been about detail, and I try my best at it. So if I'm not good, then this is going to be the last time I remake this.